Okay, so we'll be making our veggie burgers at this point in time. As you see here, we have reserved 2 cups of the quinoa, lentil, and couscous that we had steamed. We also have here 2 cups of TVP grounds that have been soaked, and this is the end product. We also have a half a teaspoon of salt mixed in with 2 teaspoons of gluten flour. We have just a little less than a 1/4 cup of cayenne pepper, and we also have 1 teaspoon of onion powder, and we have about a half a teaspoon of I forget the name of this, of turmeric. That's it. We also have here a half a teaspoon of brown sugar, and we have about a little less than a 1/4 cup of onions that have been sautéed, diced and sautéed, and we have 3 tablespoons of chia seeds. So I'm going to be incorporating, first of all, I'm going to be incorporating my quinoa, lentil, and couscous into the burger, the veggie grounds here, and then I'll be mixing that around, and then I'll be adding the other ingredients. So at this point, I've incorporated the quinoa, couscous, and lentils with the TVP grounds. Now I'm going to be adding my onions. I'm going to be adding all the spices here. I'm going to be adding the sugar, and I'm going to be adding the chia seeds. The last thing that I will add will be the gluten flour and the salt. Okay, so this is what our mixture looks like after we've incorporated everything except the gluten flour and the salt. So I'm going to go ahead and add that. And what you want to do when you're adding the gluten flour and the salt, this is the salt and gluten flour combined, you want to do it really quickly. So at this point you could get some gloves on and really work fast, because what the gluten flour does, it binds everything together, right? And it works really fast. The purpose of adding the chia seeds is also to allow the burger to bind together, but this is a much faster acting ingredient. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add this. I'm going to get my gloves on, and I'm going to kind of knead the dough, so to speak. Okay, so we have successfully incorporated our gluten flour and our salt into our mixture here, and I have it formed into a nice dough ball or mixture ball. Then what we will need to do now, we will need to lightly brown on both sides. We will need to lightly brown our burgers in our skillet here. So what I've gone ahead and done, I've put in 2 tablespoons of coconut oil along with a 1/4 teaspoon of butter. The purpose of the butter is to add some fat to the skillet so that our burgers do not stick. Okay, because I'm not using a non-stick pan. I don't use them at all. I try not to anyhow. Okay, so we are browning our burgers, and I've just flipped them over, and we're gonna brown them for an additional 5 or 6 minutes. And then what I'm gonna be doing is putting them in a baking tray, and I will be putting them in the oven to finish up for about 30 minutes, and then we will have our burgers. Okay, so I've put in a second set of burgers. Oh, by the way, I wanted to let you know that in order to make these burgers, you simply just take about a tablespoon and a half or more, depending on the size burger that you want, and you make a little ball in your hand, in the palm of your hand, and then you just flatten it between the palm of your hands, or the palms of your hands, and pop it in the pan. These have been turned, and I'm going to remove these. So So this is what it looks like. And I'm going to place this on the baking tray with the others. And I'm going to be putting this in the oven for approximately 35 minutes. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, pop this in the oven for 35 minutes, and I'll show it to you once it's all done. So we're going to put this in the oven at 350 degrees for approximately 35 minutes.
So that's going to convert this.
That's 350 degrees Fahrenheit. So this is what our finished product looks like. Our veggie burgers that have been in the oven for approximately 30 minutes after they were browned on both sides. So these burgers, I'm going to pick one up and show you what it should look like. So this is what we have. It's a little bit soft. I would suggest that if you want a heavier burger, that you would add something extra to bulk it up. You could add a 1/4 cup of oatmeal that has been soaked in water. You could also add another 3 or 4 tablespoons of the gluten flour, and you would also add an extra 2 or 3 tablespoons of the chia seeds. Okay, our next video will be to make a veggie burger that does not have in the TVP. So thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.